Hi, we're Luce and Shelley, and welcome to part 2 of our Isle of Skye adventure. In this series we'll be taking Shelley's dad's T4 campervan around one of Scotland's many beautiful islands. In this video we explore the amazing fairy calls and experience Skye on a rainy day. We also visit a place you're bound to recognise as we make our way back south. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Good morning. So we didn't actually get moved from the free camping spot that we found in Portree, which is good. But we have woken up to the most horrendous rain. But because I've got this red nose, I should be able to guide us through it. So we've just driven from Portree down to Dunvegan Castle. We just parked up in the car park and have some breakfast, and then we're going to have a look around.
The castle doesn't open till 10.
Yeah.
It's about 9 o'clock now.
Yeah, so we've got a bit of time to chill out. As the weather's pretty bad today, we thought we'd do all the indoor things. So after this, we're going to head to Kinloch Distillery. But just as our luck, the tours are closed for maintenance at the moment. But
I'm still going to go.
Still have a look around and see what's there. Maybe get a few samples, hopefully. But yeah, apart from that, we haven't really got much planned because of the weather. But still should be fun anyway.
Dunvegan Castle was built in the 13th century and is still to this day occupied as a residence by the Clan MacLeod. Entry to Dunvegan Castle is £14 per adult, which we thought was slightly expensive as the tour around the castle didn't take very long.
One fashion accessory I may add to my wardrobe in the future is the otter sporran, as modelled here by the chief of Clan MacLeod. The tour itself takes you around the armouries of Dunvegan Castle and into the dungeons.
Also included with the admission is access to the castle gardens, which are very beautiful even on a rainy day. In the summer it would be lovely to sit in the gardens with a picnic next to one of the many waterfalls which the castle was built around.
The extensive gardens also provide a lovely view of the castle itself from all angles, although on a rainy day it can be quite difficult to fully appreciate the beauty of the castle from the outside. We're alright because we've got an umbrella, but if we didn't I think we'd probably be drowned by now. We then battled through the rain and headed to Kinloch Distillery, which unfortunately was closed for tours. Hopefully that'll keep us warm tonight, so I think we'll need it. And so instead we warmed up at a lovely fire in a local pub. So we're staying the night at Kinloch Campsite, just outside of the town of Dunbagen, just round the corner from where the castle is. Yeah, we've had a bit of a mixed day today, so we came to the castle this morning and then headed to Kinloch Distillery, but unfortunately that was closed for tours.
There was literally just a shop there which we did buy some whiskey from.
Yeah.
Not that we've tried it yet.
No, we'll see what that tastes like a bit later. But yeah, and then after that the weather was just that bad that we were just trying to find the nearest campsite, but an hour and a half later or so we found this one, but that meant doing a whole other loop of pretty much the whole island. But
it's really hard to find where you want to go when there's no internet, so you can't use maps.
Yeah, it's a bit frustrating.
Even though we're here out of season, it's still so busy. You kind of need to have a bit of a plan, or kind of maybe book in advance.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Because we've struggled, and we're here out of season. So I can only imagine what it's like in the summer. Yeah,
I mean, we got the last spot on this particular campsite. We went to a campsite in Portree that was fully booked, and unfortunately one of the other campsites was closed due to COVID, so...
And that was at 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
We got this last spot, like it wasn't late.
Yeah.
So, I don't know what, we would have just had to free camp again, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
There is a lot of free camping spots, but when you need a shower and need to do some washing, you need a campsite. Also, this campsite's really expensive, like more expensive than what we've been used to on the NC500.
Yeah.
It's £28 without electric, which is the most we've paid.
But yeah, it looks a decent campsite anyway. But got probably a long day tomorrow. Probably a lot of driving because we're going to be leaving the Isle of Skye. Hopefully we'll get the ferry from Armadale, which is on the Isle of Skye, to Mallaig, which is on the mainland, because we want to go to Glenfinnan Viaduct, and then beyond that we're not too sure what the plan is. Definitely did not look like this when we turned up earlier. The clouds have parted, sun's started coming out, and it looks like a nice sunset now.
And it's 20 to 9.
Yeah, we've only waited all day, but it doesn't matter. This is the malt whiskey that we're having. Yes, I'm going to do a taste test now. I know it's a bit of a pathetic amount of whiskey, but we'll see what it tastes like. I have to do the smell as well. Oh, it smells strong. I can't guarantee I'm not going to pull like a really weird face.
It's like having a shot of vodka.
Oh, it's better than vodka. It's quite nice actually.
Burns.
That's actually pretty good. I'd recommend that.
But you drink that straight, or with a mixer?
I don't know really. That's quite nice just to drink on its own.
Oh.
Good morning. So it's our last day on the Isle of Skye today. I think because of how unpredictable the weather is, I think we're just going to head to the ferry pools, because even that's like a 40-minute drive. Then we're going to try and get the ferry from Armadale down to Mallaig on the mainland and go to Glenfinnan Viaduct.
I'm surprised we even made it through the night though with how windy it was. I literally thought the van was going to blow over at some points. Yeah,
the weather today is just a bit unpredictable. Like we were just about to head off and then torrential rain hit us, like rain you probably haven't ever seen, but so we don't want to be too cut adrift from the van if we can help it. So yeah, it's probably going to be a lot of driving today. Probably going to head somewhere like Loch Lomond or Glencoe for tonight or something like that, but should be a good day.
The ferry pools are located not far from the Talisker distillery. Therefore, had it not been torrential rain yesterday, we ideally would have visited both on the same day. It is worth noting the car park cost us £8 for the day and was already very busy by around 10:30 AM. The walk from the car park was mainly steady, however we did have to cross a few stepping stones to cross the river, which was a little scary as the water levels were high. This is probably the reason bridges are currently being built to cross the river. But after you cross the stepping stones, the views that you are rewarded with are spectacular.
Really cool here. It'd be really nice to have a dip in some of these little pools on a hot summer's day. If you ever went to Centre Parks as a kid or an adult, you'll definitely love it here. The pools are literally just like the rapids. So there's been a development, we've got an internet, it turns out there's no available ferries for today from Armadale, so instead we put it into Google Maps and it's come up as a 4-hour drive to Glenfinnan Viaduct, which is a bit more than we were expecting. We was only expecting about 2.5 hours, so it's a long drive ahead, but there's going to be plenty of nice things to see along the way, so I can't complain too much. So one positive with not getting the ferry is that we'll be heading back to do one small final stretch of the NC500, which we skipped to go to the Isle of Skye. So there's a one stretch of road between where we were at Loch Carron to Inverness, so we'll be heading back to that road. So we are kind of completing the NC500 today, so that's good. For some unknown reason, Google Maps directed us to Glenfinnan via Inverness along the NC500 as shown in red, instead of following the A87 as shown in blue. So although it was nice to complete the full NC500 route, we could have saved ourselves a heap of time and diesel. Make sure you don't make the same mistakes that we did. So we've been on the road now for about 2 and a bit hours. Started needing the toilet, so we pulled over for some lunch. It just so happens that we pulled into the car park of Rogie Falls. So I think that's put any doubts in our head to bed about whether we've finished the NC500 or not. So
We did it.
yeah, we've finished. So
And it's taken us exactly 12 days to do the NC500 and 2 days on Skye.
yeah, so that's pretty good going really. So yeah, another 2 and a bit hours to go then. So we're not far from Ben Nevis now, probably about 35 minutes from Glenfinnan Viaduct, so it's been a long down the road, but almost there now. So after a winding 4.5 hour drive, we finally made it to Glenfinnan Viaduct. And from a distance it looks really impressive. Probably got about a 45-minute wait until one of the steam trains comes across. So we're now just taking a short walk from the car park up to the viaduct to get like a good viewpoint. So if you didn't know that this viaduct was on Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets at the start of the film. According to this notice board, there was a Ford Anglia that went missing here in 2002. That's strange. Very slow though, isn't it? Really struggling. So it turns out even the Hogwarts Express can be late. We were waiting
25 minutes.
yeah, 25 minutes, but
the people next to us were saying the train they waited for earlier was an hour late.
yeah, so it's definitely worth the wait though anyway, and the hour detour. So after a long down the road, we finally made it back to our first free camping spot, just by Loch Tulla. So ending as we've begun, pretty much. It's been a bit of a weird drive really, because I feel like we've done everything that we did on this trip but in reverse. So we like turbo travelled it, so
I'm starving.
yeah, it's a bit nostalgic driving through these places, but yeah, time for dinner. Literally feels like we've come back home. I mean, it was at home for one night, but even still. So this is where we are. The mountains actually have more snow today than they did when we came last time, so that's good. It is absolutely freezing here though. It's probably about 4 degrees at the moment. We are right in the mountains, so it's probably understandable. Hopefully it's not too cold of a night. And so that marks the end of our adventures around the Isle of Skye and Scotland. And what an adventure it has been. From battering rain to beautiful sunsets, our Scotland adventure has been everything we dreamed of and more, and we already can't wait to come back. Until then, please make sure you drop us a like and a comment, as every piece of feedback really helps our channel. And please subscribe for more content, as coming next we'll be giving the camper van a well-deserved rest and we'll be heading to Europe for the summer to Interrail for 3 months. Thank you all for watching, and we will see you in the next adventure.